Okay, first up, we're going to talk about Ferdinand's temperament evaluation. So, what I first want you to understand is that the scoring of low, medium, and high, low is not bad and high is not good. That's not how it works. It's just a spectrum. So, the first thing you're going to see is I put him into the testing area. It's a new room that they haven't really spent a lot of time in. It's new obstacles they haven't seen before. And what I'm looking for at first is confidence. I'm looking for, is his tail up? Is his tail down? Is he checking things out? Is he unsure? And what you notice is his tail is up. He's happily, immediately goes to check out my bridge. He starts to explore a little bit, checks out a few new things, and then he kind of catches my eye and he comes over to the fence to get me. The next thing you'll see is that I get into the testing area, and what I'm looking for is how he approaches me. So we're looking for human assertiveness. And I gave him a medium. So what you see is a low assertive dog might kind of like army crawl over. They might need a little coaxing, and a high assertive dog is going to jump into your lap and he's going to try and get up to your face as quick as possible. Whereas he kind of like excitedly crawls into my lap and he politely kind of looks up and, wiggles around and kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen next. So motivation level. Okay, so let me paint you a picture. I did score him a low on the spectrum. That's because low motivation sometimes gets perceived as a bad trait. It's not. I still think he's going to be easy to train. I think he's going to be lovely to have around. What I would suggest is if it's a family who really likes training sessions, or you want to do a lot of training classes, like formal training, this trait might not be what you're looking for. On the flip side, for a family who wants a human-focused, loving companion to kind of just be part of their family, this is it. He is not looking for any formal, intense activity. That way, he's going to be very happy with casual play sessions, and as long as his people are there. So what you notice is basically I scored him later down. You can see I scored him on a high for human focus. He would prefer to just hang out with his people as opposed to doing formal training sessions. But like I said, I still think he's going to be lots of fun, and he's still going to want to learn some puppy tricks and whatnot. But if someone is looking for a high workability in a dog to perform a lot of tasks, he might not be the one. He's going to be a lover, put it that way. So don't shy away from that scoring. I just wanted to clarify. He's got wonderful traits for a wonderful family companion, but agility may not be top of his list of favorite things to do. Nerve strength. So I didn't actually see anything in the temperament evaluation that caused me to score a medium as opposed to a high. This is their ability to handle stress. The only reason I gave him a medium was because daily life, I do notice that the first time we try something out occasionally, or for example, testing out the stairs. There's like 3 stairs towards the kitchen and whatnot. He may not be the first to try, but he's not the last. So he's kind of right in the middle. Same thing for the car rides. If there's a new situation that he's less familiar with, he's right in the middle. But in this new situation, he scored a high. There was no signs of stress. So I do think that he will handle, I think he'll be able to handle stress well. So he scored a medium for that one. Touch tolerance. He loves to be touched. He just wants to be as close as he can. I scored him a high. So this touch tolerance, we're not looking for how much they enjoy it. We're looking for tolerance. Well, this, for example, like the vet visit, the groomer visit, these are not necessarily times where a dog enjoys being handled, but we still need them to be tolerant to it. So when we're doing their handling massages, he's a snuggler. He's very tolerant to handling. Energy level. So I scored him a medium here, right in the middle. What I notice is low energy dogs tend to do a lot of sitting. They take a lot of breaks during the testing area. He's being very distracting. And a high energy dog tends to run circles and they never really stop. You're stuck in my hair. So he's right in the middle. So I think with his activity level right in the middle, he's going to be good for walks or family adventures, but then he's also going to be very happy to just hang out if it's movie night and it's maybe a little bit of a lower activity day. Sound and sight sensitivity. So you notice that I take like a Fisher-Price popper and I shake it and I make a lot of noise. So he sees the shaker and then he comes over and checks it out. The next thing I notice is an umbrella. I pop up the umbrella and see if he kind of startles to that sudden big movement. And he was not even fazed by it. What I don't care if they notice. What I'm looking for is, did that cause him stress? And it did not. So these are excellent traits for a family with kids. If there's like big movements or loud noises, this is a really good foundation. These are both trainable traits that we can be working on as well, which everybody should. But to start low, lower on that sensitive scale is a great thing. Prey drive. I found he was more human focused than prey drive. So I was trying to engage him with some tug and throw the ball, and he wasn't overly interested. He was more interested in being held and just hanging out with me. So I don't think that he's going to have a very intense prey drive that's necessarily going to be hard to handle, which can be helpful if there's young kids in the home again. So if young kids are running through the house and you have a puppy with a high prey drive, guess what? The puppy is going to chase the kids. Human focus, high. Definitely highly human focused. Loves being with his people. I also noticed this day to day. He very much wants to be with my kids, wants to be with me. So on the flip side, I encourage his family to start from day one, set your boundaries that sometimes our people leave, but we always come back. And so that he does learn the skills to be independent and learn to self-soothe on his own as well, which all puppies should be taught this. Tender-hearted. Okay, so I scored him a high. So what you notice is I kind of like roll on the floor and have a tantrum and see if he cares. And at first he wasn't sure. And then he comes over and checks on me and he's really worried. And then he like rolls on his back for a belly rub. It was so sweet. So when you hear people talking about the dog that stayed in bed with them while they were sick all week, it's a highly tender-hearted dog that picks up on that and just kind of wants to soothe your soul. On the flip side, if there's a lot of anxiety in the house or depression, sometimes a highly tender-hearted puppy, we can gravitate towards this personality, but these are also the dogs that we're kind of projecting they're big feelings that the dog can't necessarily handle. And so we need to, that's not a home I would necessarily recommend a highly tender-hearted puppy for, but for the average home, even with kids, it's a lovely trait. Dog friendliness. Okay, so I gave him a submissive. I noticed because when I first put him into the testing area, he caught eyes with my stuffy dog and he kind of gives like a little teeny tiny growl. And then he was like, never mind, I'm not going over there. But then later in the test, Juno comes in, you can't see her in the camera, but she comes to the edge of the fence and he runs over with his tail wagging to see her. So what I expect chances are is when he goes to play with dogs, he might take the more submissive role. He'll say hello probably, and then he might like roll onto his back, which is very common. Dogs either take a more assertive role where they're like kind of up in your face and they're sniffing faces and bums, and then the more submissive role of like, okay, yes, we'll play however you want to play role. But anyways, overall, I think he's going to be the family dog that is just going to be the cuddler, the little love bug. If you have any questions about him, let me know.